feel like a movie about the Super Mario Brothers should have been the easiest layup ever. This ain't it. Please don't attack me for this review. So I just got back from seeing a Super Mario Brothers movie and I'm torn on it. I've never been the biggest Mario fan because as a character, I always thought he was a lame. I'm an old man. I grew up playing Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo, which is out before I was even born, and then Super Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64, of course Mario Kart 64, which I still play to this day whenever I visit my mom's crib. Great game, but I've always liked the other characters more than I liked Mario. Now those games I just talked about, those are without a doubt classics, but as a character, I always liked someone like Donkey Kong more. Like I loved this game growing up. I loved Yoshi growing up, even though I don't remember which game I was playing on the Game Boy, but he was always cool with me. I've always liked Luigi more than Mario for some reason. I even loved Wario and some of the games that he had when I was growing up. Toad and Bowser are my go-to Mario Kart characters. Bowser is probably my favorite Mario character out of all of them. I don't know, I just always root for the villain. I saw the Old School movie when I was a kid, and even back then, I knew that movie was terrible. YouTuber Hot Damn I Rock did a skit about Mario years ago, and it's still one of the greatest things I've ever seen. So when they announced a Mario movie, I was actually excited for it. I kept telling myself, this is the easiest cash grab of the year. Mario 40, 50 years later is still one of the biggest gaming franchises today, which is crazy to me because I was born in 1994. My parents were playing this game. This movie was easily going to do well at the box office just off the name alone. I figured a story for this movie could easily be done because they already have pretty much everything in place already, but it just fell flat to me. I'm not going to bash this movie too much because I know that it's not really made for me, even though I feel like a good movie doesn't care about your age. I saw this movie at 12:20 on Friday. It was so many kids in there. I forgot that at least in my area, the kids are on spring break right now. And this just reminded me that I'm not having kids no time soon. Kids were running around screaming before the movie started. I purposely sat at the top so I can try to avoid everything. And this kid just kept running up and down the stairs where I was at. It was so annoying. It's so many stars in this movie, so I can only imagine what the budget looked like. You got Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Day, Keegan-Michael Key, Jack Black, Seth Rogen, and too many more for me to name. It was a big thing online about Mario's voice as soon as Chris Pratt got announced as the lead, but it didn't bother me at all. I didn't care that much about the voice going in anyway because I thought it's no way people expect to sit through an hour-and-a-half movie with a high-pitched Guido Mario voice the entire time. It's me, Mario. That's what y'all wanted? Oh! If that's still a hot topic online, I didn't care that much about Chris Pratt. I liked Anya Taylor-Joy's performance as Peach here. I mean, she's been killing it since Queen's Gambit. I'm a big fan of Charlie Day from his time on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I didn't even realize that Keegan-Michael Key was Toad in this movie until after I left. He had my favorite performance in the film. I loved every scene that Toad was in. Jack Black and Seth Rogen. I did not like them in this movie. I'll give him his flowers. He's a legend. I'm just not a big Jack Black fan. He's not funny to me. So maybe I'm being biased. I'm a big Seth Rogen fan, so it pains me to say that I didn't like him in this movie, but it's just something about him as Donkey Kong that didn't click with me. I got so hyped when they did that DK Donkey Kong. Hopefully Nintendo doesn't hit me with a copyright strike because apparently they're strict. The animation in this movie was amazing, and it was multiple scenes where I was just like, wow, this looks beautiful. The team over at Illumination is extremely talented, and the animation in this film is clearly the best part of the movie. The Mario Kart Rainbow Road scene, for example, looked incredible, even though it brought back so many bad and frustrating memories from my childhood. The world looked like what you would expect for it to look like, and it felt like you were inside the game. I was curious how they were going to use power-ups in this movie, but the way they executed, it was pretty fun and cool to see them used in action. Early in the movie, they had one scene where they made it look like the classic platforming game, so at the beginning of the film, I was like, okay, I'm rocking with this so far. It was another scene where they were in a bathroom and they were getting attacked by a dog. I thought that was pretty fun, but after that, it just kind of fell off the cliff for me. The common thing that I keep seeing online from people that don't like the movie is that the story and the writing sucks. And I agree. I feel weird because this is a kids movie, but just because it's a kids movie doesn't mean that it has to be bad. It's a lot of good kid movies. I just saw Despicable Me for the first time a few months ago, and I thought that was a great movie. I was 28 at the time. Mulan is still a great and well-written movie. The Incredibles is still a classic. I watched Monster House for the first time last year, and I thought that was pretty good. Basically what I'm saying is, kid movies can still be a fun time for adults. This movie just wasn't fun to me. And a lot of the scenes moved very fast, like they were just jumping scene to scene. A lot of these characters just didn't have chemistry to me. Like I like Mario and Luigi when they were together, but they split them up for 80% of the movie. This movie didn't make me laugh once. And it wasn't just me being a Squidward. Like I said, my theater was full of kids, and it wasn't one scene where like the entire theater just burst into laughter. Ant-Man Quantumania got more laughs than this, and that movie stinks. The kids were quiet the entire movie, and they reacted the complete opposite of how I thought they would, based on what I saw before the movie started. Once the movie ended, everyone just kind of got up and left. I didn't hear any conversations that were like, wow. I feel like you hear this complaint a lot today, but in this case, it's quite literal. The best scenes in this movie are in the trailer. All of them. Like the Mario Kart scene, you had to show that. I fully understand why they did that. But one of my personal favorite scenes was the fight between the Penguins and Bowser's army. But they literally showed that in its entirety in one of the trailers. There's a lot of Easter eggs in this movie, and I feel like I caught a lot of them because I'm old, but they rely on nostalgia a lot. And I mean, you could argue rightfully so. Luigi does absolutely nothing for almost the entire movie, which I'm sure some people are going to be like, yeah, well, it's not his movie. This movie had no heart or weight to it. I feel like they could have just did a simple damsel in distress story where Peach gets captured, Mario and Luigi go to get her, and I feel like that would have been a much better story. And please don't comment about, well, why does a woman need a man to save her? That's literally the joke about Mario. How does this woman, a princess, keep getting captured by Bowser? The story of Mario is already stupid when you think about it too much, and all I wanted to do with this movie was have fun, and I didn't. I would say probably half of my theater was full, and it was pretty much dead silent the entire movie. They are 1000% gonna do a sequel to this, and I feel like that's gonna be a much better movie. As usual, the fans and critics are torn. As of this recording, it has a critics rating of 56% and a fan rating of 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm more with the critics on this one. While editing the video, it looks like the movie made $204 million in the US and $377 around the globe. This isn't a Next Life exclusive, but they're going to make another one. It's so many spin-off opportunities. I wouldn't even be surprised if they made a Mario universe. It was even one scene where Peach made sure to stop and say, there's an entire universe and galaxy out there. Where have I heard galaxy before? I'm not even gonna bother rating this movie, but like I said, I lean more with the critics on this one. I mean, I guess somewhere in the middle for the most part, but a lot of my friends were texting me 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. I'm Squidward. That's the thing I love about doing these reviews though. And once again, if you're new here, these are just my opinions. This is not me telling you what you should think. If you like this movie, fantastic. You get a gold star, a super one. Thank you guys for watching. Let's peacefully discuss this movie in the comments. Also, thank you guys for helping make the channel grow so quickly. Check out some of my other videos. The channel is still fairly new. If you see something that you like, give it a click. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on socials if you want to see my random day-to-day thoughts. Love you guys. Tell someone you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.